Hi, I'm back. I have officially finished playing The Last of Us 2, and I had so much to say that I actually wrote a 10-page review on this. It's more like an in-depth analysis on the game. When I was done, I was like, oh, I haven't finished the video review, but I felt like I won't have a lot to say. And then I realized I still have more to say, so I'm going to say that in the video. So let's get straight to it. It took about 30 hours for me to complete gameplay, and I am still recovering from the non-stop marathon. I did a lot of all-night puller kind of thing to finish the game. There were a lot of frustrating moments in there. The plane is flying right now, so if you're hearing that on camera, I am so sorry. Let's do a quick story summary. In the first installment, there is a virus/fungus outbreak that causes humans to mutate and turn into zombies of varieties. Ellie is a 14-year-old who is immune to the virus, and Joe is responsible for Ellie's safety as he takes her cross-country to the Fireflies, who then plan to perform like several tests on her to hopefully create a vaccine. The Fireflies tries to kill Ellie because that's kind of the only way to make the vaccine, because it's in her brain and it's at the part where you kind of have to get in there, but you end up killing the person. But they didn't tell Joel about it, so when Joe finds them trying to dissect her, he murders the doctors and he takes Ellie away. In the sequel, Joe tells the truth about what happened to his brother Tommy. They both decide to keep it a secret. Joe also told Ellie later on, and this causes a strain on their relationship. Abby's father was the main surgeon who was killed by Joe. So it's 4 years later and Abby is still on a revenge quest to kill Joe. She successfully does this after a zombie attack of which Joe and Tommy rescued her. As a thank you present, she lures both of them back to the camp for safety, where she tortured and murdered them in front of Ellie. Ellie was there because she was trying to rescue Joe, but she got overpowered. Abby also had a complicated love-hate relationship with a childhood friend who turned survivor buddy, Owen. Owen himself is an impatient man who understood Abby was never fully ready for a relationship, as her quest was to find her dad's killer. He then proceeded to dating and impregnating another member of the group called Mel, thereby hurting Abby in the process, but also magically wanted to constantly string her along. Ellie and Tommy go separately on a quest to kill Abby for killing Joe. Ellie is accompanied by Dina. Dina is her love interest. Dina is also an ex to Ellie's closest friend Jessie, which makes things a bit awkward, especially because Dina later found out she was pregnant for Jessie. Together, Dina and Ellie goes on the quest to find Tommy and then of course find and murder Abby. Jesse eventually catches up with them, but sadly he gets killed in battle. Things grow a bit rough down the road and a lot of friends are murdered. We're talking Jesse, Owen, Mel, Manny, Yara, and other people. At the end, Ellie and Abby get to have their final fight with Ellie eventually letting her go. That's basically the story. As a quick summary, I have a problem with Abby because even after 30 hours of gameplay, there was no reason to justify what she did to Joe. Don't get me wrong, I get that she needed to revenge her dad's death. However, the way she went about it is just not justified. Now, if she had gone the same route like Joe did, which was, she sees Joe, you killed my pops, it's your turn, and she does it the exact same way, cool. But there was something she said, like when Joe asked her, like, who are you, why are you doing this kind of thing, she said, don't you remember me? How is Joe supposed to remember you if Joe never met you? I thought at some point in all the ridiculous flashbacks, they will show how Joe met Abby at some point. But if the dude never saw you, then how the bloody hell is he supposed to remember you? Also, she had this thing where she told them she wants to enjoy the process. Like, she can't just let it be so easy. And then she goes on with enjoying the process. It was so brutal before the final blow. So why? Like, when people say that in movies, like, remember me, or I'm gonna make this fun, I'm gonna enjoy this, it's because there's this personal vendetta. Like, there's something, it's like a you got messed up moment kind of thing is why you're getting this. But there was never that with Joe, because I mean, did I miss something? I played that whole game, I've read reviews, I don't see, there's just nothing. There's nothing. Like, why? Why did you feel the need to enjoy the process of doing that? Why am I butthurt about this? Because This game eventually tries to make everyone like or see reason with Abby, and you also force us to play this character that we have zero desire to play. We have no interest in her. There is no likeness of any sort. And while we are playing as Abby, you are trying to do this thing where you try to mess with our brain to see some level of empathy with her. How are we supposed to see empathy with her when she's a piece of shit? I was waiting for the moment of realization, or where she admits that maybe just a little part of her felt guilty or felt a certain way, or there was some level of discomfort with what she did, but that never happens. She just did it so easily, like, this is a norm. But then during gameplay, you're faced with several situations, and then you come across Yara and Lev, who I really enjoyed those characters, by the way. But you come around them and you see her making sacrifices. Like, you know, Yara kind of helped her, so she saved Yara, and then she she helps Yara and Lev escape. And then she goes out of her way, put her life at risk to go get medicine for Yara. And then she comes back and she also put her life at risk again with Yara to go save Lev. Okay, I'm supposed to feel a certain way, but I still don't, because I know you've already made that mistake of making us believe that this is not the kind of person to feel anything for. She's cold-blooded. Like, yeah, she's doing this, but why? Like, is this the moment of transformation where she gets to see that maybe she could become a better person, and in the process acknowledge the fact that what she did to Joe wasn't fully justified? Let's also remember that what Joe did was justified. It was messed up, but it was the right thing to do at that very moment. Remember, this is a survivor game, and any parent or siblings, brother, guardians, anybody who walks into a room and see that the person they care about is about to be dissected, that person would spring into action and do what needs to be done to protect their loved ones. That is exactly what Joe did. Even in one of the flashbacks, it's shown that the other doctor told the surgeon to go discuss with Joe first, and he didn't. Even when she asked him, like, if it was your daughter, would you do the same? He didn't answer, because he knows that it's a very messed up situation that you really need to sit and think about. It's not something that you just say, you know what, if I just run and quickly do it, then everything is fine. Because now Joe won't know what to do, because I've already done it. That's exactly what he did. So technically, he's just as bad as the rest of them. He didn't have a civil conversation with Joe. He didn't give Joe the option to think about it, to weigh the pros and cons, to understand that this might be a sacrifice to save humanity that the federal or Feder or whatever they're called already messed up. They were the ones who doomed humanity in the first place, not Joe. And I feel like sometimes they try to give this impression that Joe was responsible for that. He wasn't. He was a plan A. After humanity has been doomed by this fungus/virus, Joe discovered that Ellie was immune to it, and perhaps she could be the cure. So that was the plan A. But Joe is not responsible for the doctors not having a plan B or a plan C. Everybody knows that with any plan, you gotta have alternatives. You gotta have A, B, and C just in case A doesn't show up or A gets messed up. You know you still got B to try out, and if that messes up, then you got C. And if all three plans fail, oh well, extract the problem, which are the zombies. It's harsh, but you know, it's a survivor game. In survivor mode, you gotta find a way to eliminate the problem so you all can create the new world. That's how this shit works. The personal vendetta bullcrap with Abby, Manny, and Nora, also just completely random. What was the personal beef with Nora and Manny against Joe? I mean, Manny got to spit on Joe's body, and Nora is all about, can you hear his screams at night? I can. And it feels good because he got what he deserved. Oh, what What the hell are you talking about? What did he get? What did he deserve? What is your beef? What are you even ranting about? No one is explaining anything. You wanted to... wait, let me think about it. Except you're trying to go through the whole societal norm where everyone follows the masses, or most people follow the masses of whatever is going on without really thinking about it. Is that where we're going with this? If that's what you were going with, okay. Makes sense a little bit. I can roll with that a little. But I know it's probably not what you were going for, but if it is, okay, cool. So Nora and Manny just followed the masses, which is Abby, and she had the ability to manipulate them and let them see that Joe was responsible for dooming humanity, and also her dad, and destroying her life because he erased her dad out of the picture. So we're screwed. Okay. Cool. Alright. I don't like Owen for a lot of reasons. He's like the friendly reminder of a lot of those guys that... the guys that are too cool for school, that's Owen. The players, all the negatives you can think about, I feel like they took all those and used it in creating Owen. And yes, I know they try to show like, "Aw, Owen's got this sweet side. He's such a romantic. He found the aquarium. Aw, and Abby just rejected him. She's such a horrible person." No. No. He is a horrible person. And even though I don't like Abby's character, I am going to explain why Owen was really horrible to Abby. Yes, they were childhood friends turned kind of lovers. Owen understood what she was going through. He was basically there. He found her dad first before she found him. So you already know that she's on a personal mission and she can't move forward with her life until she completes this mission. And you said you'll be there for her, but you weren't, you see, because even after your wooing and wowing experiences, yes, you felt rejected. I get it. Rejection sucks, but it is part of life. Your world is your bond, and this dude was not patient enough. What he did is that he went ahead and started dating someone else in the same group. You all are part of the Wolves. You really think that was smart. Not only were you dating this other girl, you went ahead and impregnated her. But at the same time, you're also stringing Abby along with the lovey-dovey. "You okay? Do you want a hug? Let me show you this beautiful lighting and whatnot." So you're stringing her along while you also have a pregnant girlfriend. And then you also have the ability to complain about nobody loves you. "I don't love this life anymore. I want to move to Santa Barbara. But oh, you should come with me. But my pregnant girlfriend should stay behind because this life is good for her." Even though she happens to be the one who has any level of true empathy, she's also a surgeon who is helping save lives. And she actually cares about you. And even though she sees Abby as a piece of shit, she still goes out of her way to work with Abby because she knows Abby is really close to you. She knows very well that you have feelings for Abby, but she doesn't let that overshadow her decisions to be a better person and to be with you. And with all of that, you still choose to leave her behind when she's incredibly pregnant and take Abby with you to Santa Barbara. You also managed to bone Abby. Oh my goodness. And I should feel something for you too. No, I don't give a shit. And quite frankly, I was like, oh well, when you got erased from the picture. Mel? That was messed up, man. Now that was messed up. Yeah, I don't like Mel, but she didn't deserve that, but it's okay. It's a survivor game, I get it. So with Ellie, I've heard a lot of people say things like she was vicious, ruthless, heartless. I don't think so though. I don't. And why? Let's talk about that. So Ellie, her life has been in a shitty situation up till 14. She almost got killed. She got rescued. Joe always had her back. Joe was her dad. Yeah, he was. It is what it is, but that's exactly what happened. He was a father figure who became honestly like her dad, and he protected her all the way. And Abby comes out of nowhere and takes that away from her. So, yeah, I would feel the same way too, just like Ellie. But if you really pay close attention, we notice a lot of transitioning process with Ellie in terms of like being on a mission, incredibly ruthless mission of going to find Abby. I would get rid of everyone that comes my way. But you start to see changes. She starts to develop feelings, like she starts to feel things. She feels love, she feels compassion, she feels the need to care and protect those that she loves, like Dina and Jesse. Yeah, Jesse and her, they butt heads a lot. It's what friends do. But you could see how much she cared for Dina. And even when she found out she was pregnant, she kept her safe while she went out there to battle the masses, just as long as Dina is safe. And every time she did that, she kept coming back to check on Dina to get some rest. She didn't have to. She could have just stayed in the woods somewhere, but she felt the need to go back to check on Dina. With Jesse, yeah, it's a pretty messy situation, but she also tried her best to be respectful enough or to talk to him. Like, they were able to see reasons together, and I really loved that about their relationship. It was a bit mature for the both of them, so I liked that a lot. Now, when it comes to how ruthless she was, yeah, in survivor mode, you're meant to survive. That's how that works. But when it comes to Nora, you could see it was strange, you know, to be participating in that. But you could see that she battled with what she did. It had a big impact on her. She didn't understand what was happening anymore. It's almost as if she felt conflicted with everything happening. She was turning into this thing that I don't think she was comfortable with. But she couldn't stop herself because she was on a mission. Like, she felt like she owed it to Joe to complete this mission. When you look at what happened with Owen and Mel, especially with the Mel accident, that shattered her. Like, you see it. It physically, emotionally drained her completely. She was basically like a shadow of herself for a split moment right there. Like, she couldn't believe what she did. It was too much. It was just too much for her. And that's why you saw like she was collapsing and just breaking down completely. And she got saved by Tommy and Jesse. And you see where she thinks about her actions, like she's watching Dina and she wants that life. She really did. Yeah, I think that was a good transition process. And after the attack from Abby, yes, it took a couple of years, but you started to see that she was changing into this life that she liked. But yes, she was also having a lot of traumatic experiences and flashbacks. And then Tommy comes over there to remind her of the past. And she follows through with it. This, of course, affects the relationship with Dina, but she needed to still complete that mission. Because she can't fully move forward if she doesn't finish her mission. Because again, it wasn't just about the whole spree. It was more than that. She felt she owed it to him because, you know what, Joe did the same for her. So she needed to finish it, which is why she went back out there. But at the very last fight, you get to see that moment. She realizes it was more than that. Like, revenge or violence is not the answer to everything. And there was no longer a point. Like, there just wasn't, because she has completed her mission without even realizing it. What do I mean by that? Well, she was angry, but at the end of the day, everybody was. You know, everyone was angry about what was happening. Abby was angry and she acted based on anger. Ellie was angry and she acted based on anger. They had destroyed a lot of lives, and even the lives of the unborn. And at the end, it's like, what exactly are we even fighting for anymore? We have bigger enemies around us. We have the clickers, or rather just a whole bunch of zombies. We have the scars, and then the last group at the end, I can't remember their name, but there were like 3 different warlord groups that they had. Of course, the wolves was the one that Abby belongs to, but the main problem were the scars, who attacked anyone without any given explanation or answers. And you have the zombies who attacked everybody, really. So they had bigger problems. And in the process of attacking bigger problems and their own personal problems, they ended up doing more destruction than good. At the end of the day, it was pointless to follow through with Abby. Also, Abby was now Joe, if you really think about it. And Lev was Ellie. So Abby is Joe, Ellie is Lev. And now Abby is fully responsible for Lev. Why take that away from him? He's already there, incredibly vulnerable in the boat. The only person he has left is Abby. Why would you want to take that away from him? Especially when you already know how it feels to have that guardian taken away from you. So I feel like that was incredible growth with Ellie, to be able to see herself in that, to be able to see what Abby and Lev now represents, to know that Lev would be safe with Abby by his side as they go to start their own new world. And now that you've erased the majority of the threat, it's okay. So I feel like with all this in consideration, it was alright for Ellie to leave Abby alone. Going back to the home, playing the guitar, she realized it's okay to move forward now, and Joe will always be a part of her. I just, and this is just a personal thing, I had a tiny bit of an issue with her leaving the guitar behind as she walked into the sunset to this new beginning. I feel like it could be sentimental value to have taken the guitar with her as a nice reminder of the good times, and to have a part of Joe with her always. Because it's okay to always have a part of him with her. She didn't necessarily need to leave that behind, but it worked for the shot, and there could have been other interpretation to that, so I'll leave that alone. Now, problems I had with the game in general. It was ridiculously slow, and I don't mean that by hours per se. Like 30 hours is fine if you have a lot of things to fill it up with, but when you just leave me roaming around doing things I don't care about, it becomes annoying because I'm wasting time. Remember, this is a survivor game. I don't have time to waste. I need to go erase zombies out of this place, okay? And I have a lot of warlords to tackle. I have a lot of things to do. I don't have time to roam around. I don't have time to play puzzle quest. I don't have time for feelings. I most certainly don't have time for like a sexual experience, okay? Like, yeah, sure, we can have a quickie here and there in the woods, but I don't have time for all this feelings nonsense. I don't have time to look at your Christmas lighting. I don't have time to go to a museum or imagine myself in space. I don't have time for all that shit. You know why? Because it's like an apocalypse going on. Alright? There are like zombies everywhere and everyone is on guard. I don't have time for shit. What's wrong with you? Like, look, haven't you watched zombie movies? No one has time to do things. Everyone is like on guard. Is it today? Are the clickers gonna come out? Are the fart gas gonna come out? The fart gas are like the bubble, what are their names? I don't know. The bubble zombies. Hold on. Oh right, I found it. Not the I call them bubble zombies, but they're the bloaters, the shamblers, the rat king, the clickers, the stalkers, the runners. Are you kidding me? We have all those things around and you think I want to have sex? You think I want to look at your Christmas lights? You think I want to walk around your aquarium? Walk around your museum? Oh, have a little fun. No, I don't have time for fun. I don't have time for fun. You guys are erasing humanity. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost my parents. I've lost people. I could lose myself any minute. Why do you think I care about those things? I get it. They tell you life is short. Enjoy it. You never know when it's gonna end. Oh, well, maybe I want to make it to the other side. Maybe. I just don't know why we had to waste so much time doing things that no one came there to do. Do you not understand why we all fell in love with part 1? Also, the flashbacks. What the hell? Like, if you're going to do a quick flashback, you know that flashback scene after the sexual experience where Abby runs through the hallway and she opens the door and she sees Lev and Yara? It was a very fast flashback. It was almost like a minute long. Yeah, I'm here for those kind of flashbacks. The kind of flashbacks I do not appreciate are all the other ones that you made me play, whether I liked it or not, without a skip option that took forever and wasn't even justified. You know, the one with the swimming experience where you're trying to teach me how to swim, but then in the real game you also show me how to swim? Why the hell did I have to learn how to swim in a flashback if I was just gonna learn how to swim when I'm playing the video game itself? I'm in battle, you showed me the same instructions on how to swim. Why did I need to do that in a flashback? Why did I go to this museum? You want to show me that Ellie and Joe bonded over some beautiful moments? Do you think I care? It's a survivor game. The whole of part 1 was both of them bonding. I enjoyed that bonding process. They were able to bond and survive together in shitty situations. And in good times, you already showed me they did in good times. They played guitar in the beginning. Speaking of guitar, why the bloody hell did I have to play guitar almost 10 times? I lost count of how many times I had to play that guitar. My camera stopped, so I had to let me start again. So yeah, I was rambling about the guitar. I have no problems with guitar playing situations, but I don't want to play guitar a gazillion times in a show, in a video game. It's a survivor game. I want to do my survivor shit. I appreciate playing it once or twice, but really? 3, 4, 5? I didn't come here for a guitar lesson. Stop it. There were a lot of important things that were addressed in the game. I respect that. Believe me, I do. I know we all need this education from time to time. But I also don't want to have an education being idle in a survivor game. If we were having all this educational process while we were doing what we were there to do, that's one thing. But if you're just making me walk around finding puzzles as we learn all these things, you're killing time. And I don't like the way you're doing it. And I don't like that you have to make me do it whether I want to or not. You know why I appreciate other video games like Mortal Kombat and Wolfenstein? They know why we are there, and they just give it to us, okay? They don't play around. Mortal Kombat have so much layers to it, but they also understand that not everyone have the patience or desire to go through all the layers, so they give you the option to skip. Which is pretty fun, and it's jam-packed with actions. They don't have time for a gazillion dialogues. They give you a little dialogue, you get mad, I get mad, let's do it, let's fight, let's do it. And then they have extra content, and then under the extra content, you have all these extra options to do other things you want to do. They also have competition, where you can just go in and compete and get shit done. What am I saying? Am I saying that The Last of Us should have had a competition stage? No. I am saying that all the gazillion flashbacks, you could have taken all of that and put it under extra content for those people that feel the need to want to participate in extra scenarios. And it's like, oh, look at this extra content where Ellie. Look at this extra content where Ellie gets to go to the museum. Ellie goes to space. Abby and Owen having romantic time at the aquarium. Oh, Abby and Owen get to bone in this extra content. Also, as someone who grew up with video games, wow, that was a very awkward situation to find myself watching a sex scene in a video game. Why? And holy shit, was it very uncomfortable. It was the weirdest shit my eyeballs ever saw. And it gave me eyesore, okay? My eyes have still not fully recovered from that traumatic experience. Remember Duke Nukem? Or Duke Nukem, or whatever it's called? Whenever I see him, I go sexy time, because he just goes and he's Duke and he's gonna do his thing, and there were like sexy people in there. But you see, you know what you're walking into, and it was done well. Like, it works with that game. Even Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, where the girls are all voluptuous in all the right places, it works. But then you put me in a survivor game and you're just gonna take that awkward sex scene and you just throw it right in there, boom, in your face. Okay, thanks. I am officially traumatized and do not wish to ever see that again in video games. Also, why? There was actually, I don't even know what the reason was, like, trying to look at it from a story standpoint, that was also still weird. There was There was just no reason for it. Like, if you had played the scene all the way to like where he grabs her hair and they start making out, and then you cut. You remember how you cut it with Ellie and Dina when they were making out at the weed shop? Yeah, if you had just done that, and then imagine this. So it starts with a makeout and then it cuts. And we see that dream sequence where she runs through the hallway and she sees Yara and Lev and she wakes up the way she did. Doesn't that work? It does, but you ruined it. I do like Manny though. I mean, he was a very straightforward dude. Dude just, you know, he likes ladies, he likes burritos, he likes working out, he likes action, Survivor, let's do it. He's like the best buddy to have. It's a shame how it ended, but he was the best. And then you managed to just put in there him speeding on Joe, and it's like, but why though? Dude, you cool, man, but what's up with that? Like, did you guys just forget to remove that? Like, what happened really? I got questions, like... It wasn't justified, it was pointless, it was quite dumb, really. If they had just taken their time to remove all that irrelevant nonsense, like, don't you remember me? I'm gonna enjoy this, and he spits on him. All that was irrelevant because you never got to explain any of it. Out of all the gazillion flashbacks, you still didn't have time to create a flashback that explains that. The only thing you created was that Abby's dad, unfortunately, was one of the doctors who got killed by Joe. Alright, well, too bad, you know? It is what it is. It was a very messed up situation from the beginning. And again, if Joe had not done that, you think they would let him live? They wouldn't. What did you expect the dude to do? This was pointless as fuck, man. It was annoying. Okay, let me give a little more positive. So visuals, man, it was good. It was spot on. It was amazing. I loved the visuals. It was very detailed. You could tell they did a lot of work on the visuals. So I truly appreciate it. They nailed it to the core. Everything was incredibly detailed. There were a little hit and miss with some character physicality. I do think the one they nailed the best was Joe. You can see it all the way down to the hair strand, the veins, the lips, the cracked lips that needed a chapstick. But I know there's no chapsticks in this kind of apocalypse. Don't mind me, I'm just being silly. But it was really good. The action sequence was badass, man. I enjoyed it, and I was actually quite disappointed that I didn't get enough time to fight more zombies. I wanted more. I was pumped. I was ready to jump in and get things done. You gave me all these outstanding guns, and I didn't get to fight a lot of zombies. But I also enjoyed fighting all the other warlords. I love the scars. They're pretty badass, man. Damn, they're pretty good. So yeah, the action sequence was really good. I love the zombies though. My favorite zombie, it's Bubble Guy. I really do like him a lot. Yara and Lev, I love those characters. I feel like they had a cost and they paid the price for change, and they were just badass siblings. I will definitely miss Yara a lot. And I'm happy that Lev now has a new guardian to see him through. Tommy, Tommy is Tommy. Tommy is Tommy and Tommy is Tommy. That's how I feel about Tommy. I don't really have much to say because they don't really do much with that character, so that's alright. It's kind of hard because I have poured out a lot of my thoughts in my paper. I would also put a link down below if anyone is interested in reading it. It's pretty fun. It was incredibly disappointing. I know that they're making box office and selling millions of copies and making good money in return, but what happens to retainer? You know, you gotta retain the fans that supported you from the beginning, and we all have been waiting patiently and slightly impatiently for like 5 years. You guys played a lot of mind games with us. You told us it's gonna be released, but then you pull back. It's gonna be released, you pull back. This adjustment, that adjustment, teasers, little gameplay. You really teased us for 5 years. And after that, to give us this, it's just like, wow. Really, guys? Why were you trying to jam-pack everything? Why were you trying to be the best? It's okay to not jam-pack a lot of shit. Because when you do that, when you put so much into 30 hours of gameplay, it becomes useless almost. Like, it's just too many things going on. Too many things. Did you guys even bother to watch your part 1? If you had watched it completely, maybe you'd understand what we loved about it in the first place. And now you managed to put so many extra unnecessary bullshit that it took away from what we loved in the first place. this game was exhausting to play. And that's so heartbreaking for me to say, because when I played the first one, I finished it in a week, and holy shit, I couldn't stop talking about it, and I was getting people to buy the game and play it to see for themselves. That's how much I love this game, and for you to just take that and ruin it just because you want to be better than everybody else and you want to be the one that stand out with so much information and so much more things to do, it's sad. You could have taken all that extra abilities and just put it into the extra content section. So let us decide if we want to play all the extra things. This game would have been a lot more fun if you just cut out 10 hours. Because you, quite frankly, you had about 10 hours of nonsense. So if you had just cut out that 10 hours and make it 20 hours of action-filled, mind-blowing experience, it would be so much fun, and maybe you wouldn't be getting so much negative press from the audience. You know why? Because the audience really care about the game, and they're really taking their time to play the game. And it's incredibly stressful to play a game that you loved so much and just play it now because you don't have a choice. Like, it's exhausting, but I have to keep playing because maybe it would get better. Well, it seems like it won't get better, but I have to keep playing because I already started. Well, I kind of have to finish this game now because I've put in all this time. It will be pointless to just stop, so I'm going to finish it. And maybe, just maybe, when I get towards the end, there will be a reason for all this nonsense. Oh, right, there is none. Well, that sums it up. And again, these are just my personal thought process. I know there are a lot more things that I probably can't remember offhand because I already poured out of me. But these are my thoughts about it. I thought it was still good. I'm not gonna lie. Overall, it was still good. It was good enough for a one-time playing experience. It wasn't good enough for me to want to invest in a third installment. I know I got this one as a gift. I paid for the first one. I got this one as a gift. And if the third one comes out, I don't want it. Because it's such a big letdown, and how are we supposed to believe that you can even make the third one better? I'm hoping there is no third one because I feel like you guys wrapped it up completely in a very nice way for this. So let's just leave it here, and hopefully the next game that comes out of you guys would understand what we really want, you know, we, your consumers, what we crave. Okay, I thought it was really fun to play the game. I wish it was a lot shorter, but it's fine, I think. I definitely still think the first one was amazing. Good work to everyone that worked in the contribution to creating this game, if that makes sense. I hope, well, I heard a lot of iffiness behind the scene, but I just want to give a big shout out to all the people that participated in the visual creation. It was beautiful. It was incredibly detailed. My God, that aquarium, they really took their time with detailing, and I loved that. I loved everything. It was great. The actions were great. The character development, it was good. The story, if I was gonna give this a rating out of 10, I'd give it a 5. I was contemplating if I should give it a 6, but I'm gonna stay with 5 because you guys messed up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm done. I'm done with this ranting review. And what do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what people thought about the game. And for those of you that haven't played it, are you going to play it? Are you going to buy it? What do you guys think about it so far? Let me know. And again, let's just have civil conversation. Let's share opinions. And let's debate if needed, but let's not try to go into arguments or pettiness. Let's just try to have fun with this little space. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's getting dark. It's very cloudy today, so I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!